Before we dive into today's episode, a quick reminder that early bird tickets for the Heart Centre Business Conference in Noosa in September are closing on the 13th of March. Don't miss out on securing your ticket to this amazing, spectacular, uplifting, connecting, inspiring, and practical business conference with like-hearted entrepreneurs, industry-leading speakers, including the one and only M. Rasciano, and just a beautiful opportunity to step away from your business for a few days to focus on making strategic decisions, getting inspired, getting motivated, and getting clear on exactly where you are headed from here. Go to tashcorbin.com/conference and grab your ticket before early bird closes on the 13th. I hope to see you there. For anyone who's struggling with social media at the moment, particularly just as a user, if you are finding that your newsfeed is just not delivering you the kind of content you want to be seeing, you're not able to connect with the people you want to connect with, this episode of the Heart Centre Business Podcast is for you. And it's based on my experience over the last few months consciously healing my algorithm. This is episode number 516, which means you can find all the relevant links and the show notes of today's episode over at tashcorbin.com/516. And because this is a Tashmas episode of the podcast, I have a gift for you at the end of today's episode as well. So I want to share with you, my algorithm is healing. Here's what I've done, and here's how you can bring the joy back for yourself as well. Let's dive in. Hello, I'm Tash Corbin, a business strategist and mentor based on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. The mission of this podcast is to help heart-centered entrepreneurs to make more money, and in doing so, change the world for the better. This podcast was recorded on the lands of the Gubbi Gubbi and Jinnaburra people. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. It's an all too common complaint of business owners that the algorithm is making it almost impossible to reach their audience, and they don't go on social media much anymore because it just feels like it's junky, it's rubbish. It's challenging to be able to even find the people that you follow and to have your newsfeed look like the kind of content you're wanting to see on social media. So at the start of 2026, I decided to be the change I wanted to see on social media because I love being able to connect, and it is harder and harder for new business owners to get organic reach in the early stages these days. And so I wanted to provide as many small pages and profiles with engagement as I could. I wanted to purposefully curate a feed that I actually wanted to see, but also curate and share as much content as I could from those creators I wanted to support. And I am pleased to report it's absolutely working, and in multiple ways. Not only am I finding that the way I engage with social media is changing, and the choice to do that has resulted in an experience far more similar to what it previously was, but also I feel like we have created a wave of momentum for the people that I have been seeing more of and the content I've been engaging with. And so I wanted to share with you what I've been doing and what I've got in the habit of doing regularly on social media in particular to get me to this point a few months later of having a way better experience on social media, seeing more organic reach in my own socials, and also seeing more content that I want to see and seeing it get more engagement and more reach as well. I'll start with what I've been doing on Facebook, and then I'll go to Instagram. So number one is I have been spending more time on Facebook as my page. So in Facebook, I log in on my computer and I change it so that I'm not on Facebook as my profile, I'm on Facebook as my page. And I consciously go and find a range of pages to follow that I'm following them from my page. So I previously used to follow things as my personal profile. So if I followed you on Facebook, chances are I followed you with my personal profile. And the reason why I did that previously was that I was mostly on Facebook as my personal profile and I would scroll through my personal newsfeed. And I used to love getting the combo of content from my friends and content from business pages that I followed. But these days, it's getting harder and harder to actually see the pages that I follow, the groups that I'm in, even posts from my friends. I got to the point at the end of 2025 when I was scrolling through my personal profile newsfeed and I was seeing 2 suggested posts and an ad, and then a post from a group I'm in, a page I follow, or a friend. And then again, more suggested posts, more ads. And then it was 1 out of every 5 or 6 posts in my newsfeed that was actually someone or something or a page or a group that I followed or I was participating in. The rest was suggested or advertising content. Whereas when I'm scrolling through the newsfeed as my page, I am not seeing ads. I'm not even seeing a lot of suggested content. Instead, all I'm seeing is the content from the groups I'm a member of as my page, and not many groups allow you to be a member as a page, but also a lot of content from the pages that I follow. So I am just at my computer right now and scrolling through my Facebook newsfeed now. I just want to say it out loud. I can see page I follow, group I'm in, page I follow, a suggested post, page I follow, page I follow, page I follow, page I follow, group I'm in, page I follow, right? So it's so much more aligned with the kind of content that I actually want to see. So I have been, for the last few months, every time I do this little process, it takes me about 15 to 20 minutes 3 times a week. I will sit and I will go through and I'll find pages to follow, and I will also scroll through this news feed. And so because I'm doing that consistently, I'm just training that newsfeed algorithm very, very specifically on what it is that I want to see. So I'm following far more pages as my own Facebook page, my business page. Then the second thing I do is I scroll my newsfeed as my page and I give love, either an engagement, a comment, a share, put it in my stories. I will click on a link, I'll click on something to every post that I see that is from a page I follow or from a group that I'm in. So every time I recognize a business or I see content that I enjoy and it's from a page that I follow, I'm engaging with that content. Now, the third thing that I do is as soon as I am rage baited or clickbaited, or I feel like I'm getting to be in a bad mood, I click not interested. So in the top right-hand corner, the 3 dots, I click it and say not interested, don't want to see content like this. And then I close the window. And that is my social media done for the day. So it is helping me to not only be a little bit more boundaried around what I'm consuming, it is helping me to train the algorithm for this particular feed of what I want to see. But I'm also punishing Facebook for showing me rage bait content, for showing me clickbait content, for showing me something that makes me feel horrible and I'm not enjoying it. And I have found that just doing this 3 times a week for the last 10, 11 weeks has made a significant difference to the quality of content that I'm seeing, the connection that I have to that content, and also the positivity of that content. I'm seeing far more helpful content, far more useful, far more effective content, even to the point where Facebook was starting to just show me a bunch of B-roll video. So that's the videos where someone is like smugly looking at the screen, sipping on a cup of tea, and there's nothing in the video itself. It has either a couple of words that says, here's what I'm doing differently and blah, blah, blah. And then in order to actually read the content itself, nothing is contained in the video. It's all in the actual caption. So the video is basically pointless. It's just a scroll stopper. And I don't enjoy them. They make me a little bit antsy, right? Because it makes me click 3 or 4 times to be able to actually read what it is the person's saying. And in a lot of cases, it's used as engagement bait because you have to click it to read what they've said in the caption. And so people who create this kind of content are trying to trick you into engaging with their content. There's not enough information in the description that's on the video, or the video has nothing of substance in it. And so I don't enjoy that kind of content, right? And no shade on anyone who uses it. I just don't find it helpful. I feel like it's very much fixated and focused on what the person who created the content can get out of me, i.e. engagement and views, not focused on what it can give to me. It's not helpful content to me, and so I don't like it. But it only took me noticing that I don't love B-roll content and then consciously choosing to, when I saw B-roll content, say I'm not interested in that and closing my window down before I stopped seeing it. I don't even get B-roll video content in my feed on Facebook anymore. And I am so, so pleased about that because the number of times that I have clicked to go and read more and then there's not even enough information in there, or the click read more just sends me a link that goes off to somewhere else to go and look at the content, right? And it's not user-friendly content, so I don't want to reward it because I don't want to see it and I don't want to engage with it. That's a personal choice. As I said, no shade on anyone who uses that kind of content. It's just not for me, and so I'm choosing to disengage with it. And here's the kicker. I don't know if it's because Facebook recognizes that it's still me who's doing that when I'm on my page feed, but my personal news feed is starting to look better and better as well. It still has a much higher portion of suggested and ad-based content, but it is getting more aligned with exactly what it is that I want to see. So what I have decided to do moving forward is to also invest maybe a little less time, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, doing the same thing when I'm in Facebook as my personal profile. But I'm choosing to unfollow some pages as my personal profile and follow them as my page instead. And then I want to train my personal profile algorithm to mostly show me content from groups. So whenever there's a post in my feed that is from a Facebook group that I'm in, I click the 3 dots and say interested, so I get more of that content shown to me and I engage with the content from those groups as well. Now, that is my 3 steps. It's not even that big. So I follow pages as my page. I scroll the feed as my page and engage with every post that I see from a business I recognize or with content that I enjoy. And then as soon as I am clickbaited into a news headline that's actually not true, or I'm rage baited into engaging with something that I don't like, or I see content that I'm not interested in and, makes me a little bit cranky, or I'm feeling a bit antsy, I find that there are certain types of content that just make me feel a bit anxious, or, there are some pages that I followed a long time ago that they've sort of gone into more of that like negging type of content where it's like, you're never going to make it work if you don't XYZ, or here's 3 ways you're costing yourself sales. And it just is that kind of content that's just all very negatively toned. So if I find myself feeling a bit angsty, then whatever is the content that made me feel that way, I click not interested and I close the window. So that is my 3-step process. Now, when it comes to Instagram, I'm also taking a similar approach, but I'm just being mindful of the feed posts, so just the normal news feed versus reels. So one of the things that I love about my newsfeed on Instagram is I love a static post. I don't love everything being reels and video content, especially because of the proliferation of these B-roll videos. And so I don't like that I am forced to click to go and read something and scroll through something and look at something in order to just even try and figure out whether it's something that's going to help me or be of value to me, or if it's something that I'm interested in. So if I don't know straight away, I just scroll past. But I'm also being mindful in the news feed to engage with more static posts, just image posts with lovely captions, things that are helpful. I love a good carousel that's like, here's 6 things you might not know about blah, or here's 6 steps to getting this outcome, or here's my 4 favorite books that I read this month, whatever it might be. And so I engage far more with that kind of content in my feed. And then I sit and I look through the Reels feed, and same thing, I'm very mindful of what I engage with. But if I like something, I don't just love it. I put the little heart, I put the repost. Oh my gosh, you should see my repost feed on my Instagram. It's spectacular. So I put the heart, I put the repost. If it's a content creator I really love to see, I'll comment on that content. And I will also make sure that I'm being mindful of who I follow. So I did go on a little bit of a follower spree and followed a bunch of like new people back in 2021, 2022. And I realized that a lot of those pages, Instagram profiles that I followed, I wasn't 100% sure what they were about at that point in time. And so when I see them pop up, if I don't love it, I'm just unfollowing, and I'm taking the time to unfollow. I also consciously unfollow anyone who is using AI to write captions or create imagery, because the more I hear about AI and the problems with AI, the more I just think, no, I actively want to opt out of this process. I want to get off this ship. Thank you very much. So if I see someone's created AI imagery, I'm not interested. I am quite happy that they're doing it. And I don't begrudge anyone for using AI for creating the image, whatever. Like, that's their choice. But I'm not following them on Instagram to see what image they got pumped out of AI. I would rather just see a photo of their feet. I would rather just see a photo of their like handwriting. I'd rather just see a photo of their face. And so if I see that, I just instantly unfollow. If I see the captions, it's very easy to see who's using AI to write their captions. And same thing, I will unfollow. I've also started unfollowing people who use a lot of ManyChat, because I comment on posts on social media on Instagram so prolifically now, because I want to engage with people's content. But so many people have these chat bots set up where if you accidentally use a certain word, and it's like the words are the type of words that you would use when you engage with their content. So for example, saying yes, often if I see a piece of content that I love from someone, I'm like, yes, that sounds amazing. Or yes, this is exactly what I've been saying as well. I instantly get their ManyChat is popping up and sending me links to freebies to download and links to this and asking me questions. And I'm like, this is all bot stuff. And I didn't come to follow you on Instagram to have a conversation with your bot. It's not what I'm here for. I am on social media to socialize. I am on social media to connect human to human. I'm there for community and I'm there for connection. And when I say I'm there for community, I am there for community with other business owners. I buy from people that I discover on Instagram and that I discover on Facebook, but I discover the human, not just the bot-written, AI-generated, bot-driven, or completely outsourced stuff that they have thrown at the internet. I'm only interested in socializing with humans. And so I'm much more mindful about who I follow these days. Who I'm following is going down fairly quickly. And then when I'm engaging in the comments of creators that I enjoy their content from, I will often follow people that I discover in the comments as well. And I'm following people far more mindfully. So I'll go and look at their profile. I'll go and look, are they sharing content fairly consistently? Does the content feel like I'm seeing a human being? Does the content feel like I'm getting a variety of different pieces of content and insights? Is there some non-real content on there, like reels, as in REEL? Like, I don't want to just follow creators where it's just all reels, because I spend more time scrolling the feed than I do the reels, and I'm training my actual standard feed to have less reels on it. And if I want to watch video content, if I want to watch reels, I want it to be a conscious choice to go and do that, because I find that's probably where I can get lost in a time vortex and end up spending more time on socials than I intended. And so rather than doing that, I'm being very mindful about who I'm following and how. So this has been such an amazing shift for me. In the past few weeks, I have noticed that, especially for my Facebook scrolling, I reckon 90% of the content that I see now is from pages that I follow, people that I'm connected to, and groups that I'm in. And when I scroll as my profile, it's still probably not as good. It's getting a little bit better. I will do a little bit more of that curation, but I just spend less time on social. I spend less time on it as my profile because I don't enjoy it as much. And so I do the not interested thing quite a bit as my profile. And I give a lot of love to posts I like, especially that come from Facebook groups, because that's really where I want to see my groups posts coming through. And so I'll keep you updated in a few months' time if the profile newsfeed is doing better on Facebook as well. Now, what I wanted to do for this episode of the podcast, given that it's a Tashmas episode and I want to give you a gift, is I thought we could actually not only help fill your feed with more amazing content from people who create amazing content, but also give you a bit more reach for your own socials as well. So what we're going to do is heal your algorithm and get you some more followers at the same time. We are going to do a post where you can find some more creators from this community to follow. And also I'd love for you to come and share your profiles as well. All of the instructions on how to participate will be over with the show notes of today's episode at tashcorbin.com/516. And I really do hope that you participate, because I want this to be one of those really meaningful opportunities for us to find the types of creators, the types of people, the types of businesses that we want to see more from in our newsfeed. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I'll see you tomorrow for day 8 of Tashmas. And until then, I cannot wait to see you shine. Bye for now.